Have you been looking to get into the full frame mirrorless market? Well, look no further. Today I'm going to be looking at the Sony A7IV and looking at the transition from crop sensor cameras to a professional style full frame camera and giving you my first hand experience and review.
Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. Here you can see us packing for our trip to Scotland. Going to see Jacob's parents Jacob's leaving tomorrow and then I'm leaving after work on Friday.
Nice. Little run through. You look very HD.
This is my...
The mess. HD of all the mess that you've left on your side of the bed.
I'm tidying, as you can see. We're done.
All done. As you can see, I decided to take my newly purchased Sony A7IV and take it to Scotland, Berwick-upon-Tweed, test out everything there is about the camera. I've got the Sony A7IV paired with a Sigma 24-70mm F2.8 art lens. I was at the point in my professional career where I had to invest in this new kit. I think this is the best bang for your buck setup that you can get at this point currently. This video is looking at people like me who don't have the world of money to just be splashing out on thousands of pounds worth of kit. Don't get me wrong, this amount of money would be considered quite a lot for a lot of people, but for me I saw it as an investment in really taking myself to that next step. So yeah, with the body, the main features for video, we've got the 10-bit colour, 100 frames a second at 1080p. There is 4K capability in this camera, which personally at this point in my career I won't be using, but it's nice to know that if I need 4K for potential client projects, it's there. Obviously the crop at 60 at 4K is something I see potentially being something that might hold me back in the future, but I tend to also use a lot of crop, especially in detailed shots where you might need that slow motion. You've got S-Log3, S-Cinetone, which I used for this video, and a world of other different features, which I'm sure have been covered in other videos. I spent my entire professional career filming with the Canon 650D. Around 10 years ago, this was the camera to get as a beginner. It shoots 1080p video at max 30 frames a second. You can do 60 frames a second at 720p. External mic support with the 3.5mm headphone jack. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. This camera has helped me for the last 12-ish years get results I needed to get. But a lot of people will say it's not what you have, it's what you do with the equipment you have. But I think at a professional level it gets to a stage where you do need to get to that next step. For me, with this camera, one of the things is a full frame. The full frame sensor, you let all that light in, it's just a bigger picture, it looks a lot better. For video, logged video. Until about a year ago I wasn't even really aware of logged video. It's just recently I've realised the perks of being able to get the high dynamic range and just bit the control in knowing that I can over and underexpose video and bring it all back later, and just the control with the colour is something that I've really grown to love. And now since purchasing this camera, because I filmed this video in April, I've done so many different projects and I wouldn't go without log footage anymore. It's something that I just use all the time. Super duper easy in Final Cut as well to just apply a Rexa 7.9 LUT and it makes your footage look good. Tech specs, we've just watched the video, you can see I've showed off all the different frame rates. Cue the next montage, let's go. Okay, so as you've just seen from the first clip, I also decided to start taking some pictures. I thought the Sony A7IV is a hybrid camera, and I love taking pictures, and I honestly think I haven't enjoyed taking pictures for a long time until I got this camera. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to go spend money to enjoy taking pictures, but the fact that I can just switch it over and now I've got 33 megapixels of uncompressed raw magic to be working with. As you can see from the files, you just get an incredible amount of detail, beautiful colours. The one thing that I did consider when purchasing this camera and looking at the Canon counterparts was the colour science. Canon, for me, I've shot on the 650D, I've used the 5D Mark IV since, and there is something about Canon colours that reigns supreme. I know that since a few years back, apparently, Sony has improved its colour science, and I think it still reigns true, and when you're shooting raw, you've got so much control that it is pretty unnoticeable. There is still something about Canon I love, but Sony performs very well. Files look amazing, 33 megapixels, you can crop, you can do whatever you want to do. 33 megapixels is fine. All the professional work that I will be doing photo-wise, I'm completely confident it's going to do the job. Pictures on the Sony A7IV, you're sweet. Unless there's that certain reason you might want Canon, but no. For me it works. The files are really big. I think they're around 55 megabytes per raw file. Doing a bit of research, you can also shoot in compressed, and I know that the compressed and lossless compressed files apparently do pretty well, but obviously you know that if you want the highest quality possible, you can do that. My first time using an electronic viewfinder, looks amazing. You get to see what your picture's gonna look like in the screen. Focus is really good. Going back to the video mode with these clips, shooting random bits, I was using the active and the standard stabilization. This is where these Sony mirrorless cameras are a big perk for me. I'm used to shooting on the 5D Mark IV. I know I've got this crop sensor here, but I also shoot with the 5D Mark IV for my work, and there is so much more technology in the Sony. It's got active stabilization, the kind of stabilization you get to expect from an iPhone. iPhones keep your footage looking so stable. This camera does the same thing. You crop in a little bit, but you still get beautiful looking footage, and honestly, you can't run and expect the smoothest footage. For making handheld shots look good, on a 5D Mark IV, handheld shots are not going to pass. I've used this on professional projects handheld and got footage that works, so that is a big plus, knowing that you can just have that for the times where you might not be able to use a gimbal, and the times that gimbals are getting fiddly, trying to change the lenses and rebalance. It's worked out real good for me. It's like I said, just the technology in these cameras is just worth the upgrade in my opinion. The flip out screen, perfect for video. Little features like that just help you. And autofocus, loads of different modes. You've got full screen focus, it just chooses whatever's in the subject. I'm using it now. Spot focus, you can move it around with your finger, move it with the joystick. All these different focusing modes, you can adjust the speed, you can adjust the sensitivity. This honestly, it feels like a camera from the future in my opinion. I've seen it been said in every video, but honestly, you start to feel like the camera does the bits you didn't want to do before, and it allows you to just get the shots you want. So the last thing I will say is you can see the detail in the maze and where the tractor's spraying. It's just like there's a different level of quality in these cameras. I don't think I've ever seen 1080p at 50 frames a second ever look so good. Sander's got his hat on. Oh, I need my microphone really. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I've also forgotten. And then she came.
Had to put the microphone on the camera today because the wind noise has been absolutely awful, but hopefully today I can actually get some footage with the audio from the mic and the camera, take some more pictures. Ellie's here now, so it's nice. I wish I could tell you where we were, but I will insert said location here right now. Yeah, hope you're enjoying the video so far. That's all I know. Are you laughing? Enjoying yourself? Really? You enjoying the countryside views? You are? Yeah, I know you're a Scottish girl at heart. So I got the Summit series on. Mini version of mine. It's easy. This is the side quest mission. Me and Ellie have come on a little drive. Went to the local farm shop, didn't get anything. Drove nice and safely. Now we're at this random bit, but I just wanted to update everyone saying that I'm the first time whipping in a car. Driving in my parents' car, insured for the weekend. There's nothing really much else to say. Look at that beautiful view. So far, the video has hopefully given you an insight in how to use the camera. I did put the microphone in the headphone jack, so actually all the clips from today that I filmed, the wind noise was still there, so actually I was pretty pissed. So there isn't actually going to be any representation of the mic that isn't wind noisy. But apart from that, we're back, we're solid, we're going home tomorrow. It's been a good weekend. That is it for the car update. Let's go home. While I was on the trip and I was testing out all these new different log features, camera technologies, I remembered I've got an iPhone 13 Pro and that shoots raw picture and raw video, so why not give it a go and see if there is any perks of using the raw equivalent to the things that already come on an iPhone. I might as well just summarise it and say it now. Video, I don't personally think it's worth it. Picture, it depends. I noticed from the raw iPhone files that actually I like being able to adjust the raw files on an iPhone, but I don't personally see the point unless you're like a professional influencer and you need to like really fine-tune your images. Everyday scenarios, not that important. I don't really see pros using the feature, but if you're making money off your Instagram pictures off an iPhone, by all means do it. It's there if you want to use it, you don't have to have it turned on. It uses like 25 megabytes per picture, so expect to use it with your camera real quick. Video, like I said, I don't notice much of a difference. It kind of comes out, it's not like a raw video where you add a lot to it. It just looks the same, but it is raw, uncompressed video. If you want the highest quality possible iPhone video for any reason, the option's there. But for an everyday user, I don't really see the point. You get like slightly higher details and that's it. It was interesting to look at these features, but my conclusion for this quick little snippet is raw pictures, thumbs up, raw video, it's there. You can use it if you want. The pictures and videos you get from an iPhone 13 Pro Max for like the stuff I do, which is just the odd social media post, it makes everything look amazing anyway. Just the out of video, out of footage, if you want a quick little Instagram promotion story, picture, for a reel, for a TikTok, it works. Don't have my camera with me today, but I'm going to test out ProRes raw video on the iPhone 13 Pro Max that I've got, because I thought why not, if I'm going to be doing a bit of, well, not grading, but the cine time, but I'm going to get some good footage. ProRes raw, uncompressed, colour graded.
Yeah, that's over, isn't it? Yeah, so you can see you can get all the way.
Got the Doc Martens on today. Jeez, too steezy. No Air Forces today, just straight up Doc Martens. Straight up steezy. Oh god, half a minute of ProRes. That's half a gigabyte of footage, guys.
Are you making fun of mine?
Nah, I like them. The Summit series. Ooh. Okay, so the conclusion. You just watched my 4 segments of the trip to Scotland. As you can see by the little vlogs, it was a fun time. I drove the car, went on loads of walks with my parents. In fact, one of my last videos, because I haven't posted a video in forever, you saw that they moved away and I've been living in my humble abode for a while. So it was nice to go see them. That was like 4 months ago now. My professional game is going up, you know, I'm going up into my professional career. I'm happy with how it's going, but YouTube game very much on a low, so that's why you got to like this video, you got to comment on the video and subscribe. If you're looking to do video and film at the same time, this camera is the one. You get less features than the Sony A7IV, which is the video centered camera, but the features you have are enough to fit the bill in all the professional video work I've done so far. You can do the slow motion video at 100, which looks good for most things. You've got the 10-bit video if needed. You've got very high bit rates possible if you want to put a CF Express Type A in. I'm using an 128 megabytes per second SD card and getting real good quality. Like I said, the 1080p looks amazing, dynamic range is amazing, S-Log3 is amazing. All the different technological features in this camera just make life so much easier. Got everything you need to make high quality looking video. The Sigma 24mm to 70mm lens is so good. Considering for a do-it-all lens, it is the best in my opinion. 24 is a good focal length. There might be some situations where you want a bit wider, but then you're going to have to go and get that lens. But then the lenses that are wider, like a 16 to 35, isn't going to go as zoomed in as this camera does. So I think that the 24 to 70 does for me for most things. There's also an Aps-C mode on this camera that crops in, which means you can actually extend a little bit further than your 70mm, which is perfect for getting really close detailed shots, especially when you're further away. It works miracles. If I was to then take a step up from this, I think you'd see me getting an 85mm f1.4 from Sigma, potentially a 16 to 35. But for now, in my opinion, this is the best bang for your buck lens. I hope this video was informative. So that's it from me. In conclusion, this is the camera to get if you're that person who's looking to take that step into the professional game. This camera allows you to do so much for an amazing price tag compared to all other cameras on the market. For that, we're going to give it a big thumbs up. That's me done. Jacob Power, over and out.